Hello, Boring Review Nation. Gabe,
Nick,
and we're here today to bring you another song reaction, fresh off the presses. Nick, tell the people what we're listening to today.
we are checking out some more Led Zeppelin, ladies and gentlemen. We have been really, truly enjoying listening to more of Led Zeppelin. I had mentioned a few videos before. I never grew up too much with them, but I was listening to one of their greatest hits CDs, just for fun. I was actually selling it to someone and I wanted to test out to make sure each track works. So I didn't listen to it through and through. This song in particular he's going to mention to you, I don't recognize this title. I'm sure I've heard it before, but we've really enjoyed them. Hopefully, if you're really enjoying them, you've come back for some more. If you're new, welcome. We got a few others on the channel. But which one are we checking out today?
We're checking out Over the Hills and Far Away. And I've actually heard that referenced in either other films or maybe, and I don't know what, honestly, I don't even know what it means.
It sounds like an old nursery rhyme or something. Over the hills and far away, to grandmother's house we go, right?
Oh, because I was like, when I read the title, I'm trying to think to myself, okay, it's some kind of figurative language, and I was like, have I ever heard that as an adage or a proverb or you know?
But it goes to that nursery rhyme, right?
That's now you gave it to me. It was a nursery rhyme. Interesting. You know what? Hopefully it doesn't sound like a nursery rhyme.
Hey,
you know,
their spin on it's gonna be awesome.
I would say, you know how I feel about that. What was that one Beatles song that was driving me crazy? I was like, it was too jingly.
In your jingles, yes.
But you know, I like Led Zeppelin. I think one of the coolest things that I've found is that whenever now I go somewhere or I get somebody to jump in the car with me or whatever, like stuff is just playing on my Apple, background. And like the other day I'm in the gym, right? And I go in the sauna, my headphones don't work in there because I guess it gets too hot or whatever, but my phone will work. So I was playing it. And the one dude was in there and I forgot who we were listening to. It might have been maybe it wasn't Zeppelin.
Was this the Crossfade one you were telling me about?
This was a different time.
Oh, sweet.
Crossfade. This was who was it that we were listening
Pink Floyd
to?
Or
Maybe no, not Pink Floyd. It was some Oh, it was the Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
And I don't know the name of the song. I'll be alright. Man, I'm such a terrible.
Touch of Grey.
Touch of Grey. Touch of Grey. And he was like, he looked at me. He was like, right on, man. Like you know what I mean? Like it just sparked the conversation or whatever.
Right.
And like a guy, you know how it is. Nobody finds their video. He's like, oh man, I went to the concert. So it's cool, like to. To connect with people over, shared experiences, shared cultures or whatnot. And that's what it gives you, like, to another generation and another genre of fans. Because obviously these are way before our time, you know what I mean?
You gotta love how us guys interact with each other. I love that. Right on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
right
on, man. He's like, right on, man. I went to the concert a few weeks ago. I was like, yeah, it's too pricey for my blood. But when we just started talking and saw him at the gym, then a couple days later, I was like, hey, dude, what's up? And now, got a new gym buddy. So it's cool that music can do that. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a deadhead. I love it. If you like our reaction to this anyway, please don't forget to
like and subscribe.
And let's go ahead and check this out.
It's funny when I watch these on playback, even though I've asked you before and I know you do it I was like, I never realized how bad my voice is, especially when I try to sing. And every time I'm like, oh, please, did he cut that? Nope, he left it in there. So I'm just thinking right now that I try to do that. I was like, gosh, that's gonna sound so bad. Just
send the request in because I'm too lazy sometimes. I just think to myself, did a phone go off? Did someone come in the room? If not, I'm gonna let it play.
Oh, Savannah was watching with me and she was like, thank God you're a teacher. Because you don't have a singing voice. That might have been the harshest thing the wife ever said to me.
You got a better singing voice than I do. Real quick, I had a student. I was telling my class, because I always say, like, I'm not going to sing because I can't sing. And he's like, you can't? He's like, I can't sing either. And this certain kid goes to my church. And so you have the kids sing from time. I have heard you sing. You can sing a lot better than I can. He's like, yeah, that is true. Like, thanks, pal.
Oh, that's so
He actually does have a pretty good voice. All right, here we go. Oh, I know this song. I think I do. Now, I don't know if they're just riffing right here, but I think this is part of the song. If it is, I know the song.
Is this acoustic?
Not necessarily. He's just really strumming it hard. But look at, I might be wrong. I'm not a musician.
Hey lady,
Yeah, I know this song.
you got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh, darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, so much, so much.
It's funky, it's an acid. You know I love this guitar riff and that was sick.
They're going to give you plenty of guitar.
That like at first, right? And there's a song like I'm not really, and I, for whatever reason, I correlate acoustic guitar with country. And the only one I can't even know the name of the song. That's not because I'm a fan of the artist, but because I'm a comic book fan. Is that the one in the Wolverine in Logan? I hurt myself today.
It was first 9 Inch Nails dude, Trent Reznor, but then Johnny Cash did it.
Oh, that's not even his song? I didn't know that.
No, so it's crazy. So yeah, so Johnny Cash asked to do a cover of the Trent Reznor song. And Trent Reznor's version is fine, but Johnny Cash's is just better. Yeah. To the point where I heard someone else say in an interview that Trent Reznor, once he heard it, he says, oh, he's like, That's no longer my song.
Wow.
He himself said he did it better.
That makes me like Chuck Resnick so much more.
Right?
That is
he
so
said
humble.
That's Johnny Cash's song
That's
now.
so
How crazy.
cool. And like I said, it was like, I love his voice in there, but the guitar sounds so different. So I always kind of associate that with country, right? The acoustic. So maybe it was like you said, he was strumming it harder or whatever, or maybe he didn't have it. And I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this because like I said, I've listened to other country stuff. Like, what's that? My daughter, Luke Bryan. Remember, I showed you a picture of him. Her. My daughter actually is in the country because her friends and dancers are in the country, and they go to the one country bar out here, whatever. It's
yes.
They do the line dancing.
It's not Smokies, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, it's a thing here in Vegas, so she enjoys it. And I'll be in the car, and she'll be like, oh, can I put this? Yeah, go ahead. But I've never been a big fan, so I was like, are they going country? But then when the rock and roll hit, man, it was rock and roll. And that guitar riff was sick with it, bro. I was like, holy theater. And then, I mean, dude, I added it in the middle of the song. It was hot. I love it. And to me, that's rock and roll. That's classic rock and roll. There's just a distinct sound to it. You know what I mean? And at first I was like, oh, is this going to be like a ballad? And, you know, I think I told you this before. I've now changed my opinion once again. And once again, and Metallica 1 is now my favorite Metallica song and probably my favorite rock song because of the double bass. I love and the guitar riffs in there is crazy. And I'm like, for the longest time, I was like, man, the ballad, but no, that's just. But I was like, is this gonna be more of a ballad or is it gonna be country? And when the rock and roll just punches you in the face, like, oh yeah, like, because here's the thing about music, and I think that this is true for everyone. It affects your mood. If it's happy music, it's gonna make you happy. If it's energetic, that's why we go to the gym. I need some rock. I need some. If I'm depressed, which I try not to be, but when you were a kid and you got your heart broken, you're listening to the love songs or whatever. You know what I mean? So it affects your moods, and I'm more into the upbeat, like hard rock. And so when they hit you with that, it's like, oh yes, this is what I've needed.
Oh, dude, they absolutely kick your butt in the right way. I love that song. I recognize the early guitar, which is interesting because, again, sometimes bands, like when they're playing live, they just mess around and then they go into their song. But that's how that song goes. But I couldn't tell you that it was the song it ended up being. I just recognized that part. And then when he really, like that part, oh, I recognize this too. These guys
leave
are
that in, by the way, so that way people don't think, because that was terrible.
I already know you're better than I am, and that's not saying much.
We're both horrible.
But listen, I don't care. But these guys are so artistic, and you can sit there and say, oh, it was the times, man, they were experimenting. I don't care. These guys are artistic. They don't care. We say this every time. They don't really care so much about having so much vocals. They just let everything breathe. They let everything play, and everything, I mean, they're very, very creative, and it meshes so, so well. I don't know what my favorite part of Led Zeppelin is. His voice, because it's so unique, especially when he gets it so high, or the music that the band plays. And he's part of that too, so I mean, whatever it is, because it's all good. But love this song. Couldn't tell you it was that from the title, but now I know. If you like our reaction, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
We know all things.